Hello everyone, welcome to the Books of Morgan. I'm Morgan and today I'm going to be doing my May TBR. I cannot believe that it's already May. I was really disappointed in how much I was able to accomplish in April because I wanted to read so much and things just kept popping up in life, and I want to read all the books this month. Like, I am so excited for my TBR. I'm really motivated to read. I'm like ready for this reading to get done. So look at this insane stack that I have in front of me. Okay, like crazy. As you can see at the bottom, I have my very large book that was also in my April TBR, so we know I didn't get to that one last month. But the first book I actually want to talk about today is a book that I'm currently reading and that I did start in April but just haven't had the time to finish it because of finals week. And as of 1 hour ago, I'm officially done with my undergraduate degree, which is so exciting. Like, I'm so happy to be done with college, but at the same time I'm terrified because the job market sucks and I'm unemployed. And Chicago has a stay-at-home order until May 30th, so I can't go anywhere. But that means I'm going to get a lot of reading done. In addition to reading, this month I plan on writing the first complete draft of a novel. I've never written a book before. I think I'm a very strong writer. I mean, I'm a history major. I do a lot of writing, for research and stuff. So it'll be a nice, fun experiment to delve into fiction writing, and I'm so excited about it, and I feel like now is the perfect time to do it since I'm unemployed. So the first book that I have actually started in April but have not quite finished yet is Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. This is a YA fantasy novel following Ximena, who is an Illustrian. There's like two different groups in this book. There's the Illustrians and then there's the I forgot what the other group is called. So this follows Ximena, who has like magical powers that deal with weaving during moonlight, and she's a decoy like queen, and she's sent off to marry this king of their rival. This is loosely based on the Bolivian Revolution. There's murder, there's action, there's fantasy elements, there's a lot going on here, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's pretty fast paced. I'm only like a third of the way through, maybe even not even a third, but I'm enjoying it. It's just, I wish I knew more about the Bolivian Revolution because I think that if I did, I would get more out of it. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it, and I want to finish this probably, I don't know, by tomorrow. The next book that I want to read is a book that I think will help me with my novel that I'm writing. So this is more of like a researchy book that I want to read, but also it's a book that I've had on my shelf for a while and I am interested in reading it, and that is Medium Raw by Anthony Bourdain. This is a nonfiction memoir. I don't know, it's a nonfiction book by Anthony Bourdain, and it's a bloody valentine to the world of food and the people who cook. So I think that this will be really interesting. I have never read an Anthony Bourdain book before, but I adore him. I was very sad when he passed away, so definitely want to read this and hopefully get some inspiration for my novel, which has to do with food and travel and stuff. So yeah. Another book that I would like to read this month is a fantasy novel. I think my TBR is pretty fantasy heavy, just because those are the books that I am drawn to right now. And that is Nevernight by Kristoff. Kristoff is a phenomenal human being. I've never met him in real life, but I think he's super cool and I want to be his best friend. But this book follows Mia, I believe. Yeah, Mia. And like her entire family is killed, and then she becomes this insane assassin. This is an adult novel, adult fantasy novel, so it's very gory, it's very action-packed. I think there's magic involved, I'm assuming, because it's a fantasy novel, but I'm so excited to read this. It's been on my shelf for forever. I love the idea of like female assassins who just really get right into it. I mean, Throne of Glass was supposed to be like a badass like female assassin, but she never really killed people. But I know that Mia definitely kills people, and I'm ready to read it. The only thing about this book that I'm worried about is, first of all, the font is tiny. Second of all, they do footnotes in here, which is not something I'm used to in fiction novels. I read them a lot in like my nonfiction research books, but I don't know how I'll feel about it in here. But again, I've heard nothing but good things. The only other J. Kristoff novel I read was Illuminae, and he wrote that one with Amy Kaufman, and I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, so I'm only expecting good things from this novel. Yeah. And also, J. Kristoff, just a cool dude in general. If you don't know what he looks like go Google a picture of him. He's like such a badass. Yeah. Another book that I want to read is Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. This book is about this witchy girl. I think she's a Wicca. I don't know. But one of the girls in her high school is murdered. It's a cheerleader. And she resurrects the cheerleader from the dead to find out who killed her. So it's like this mystery feminist witchy book. And I got this from Book Outlet a while ago. So figure it's a good time to read it. I'm really into witchy stuff because I've been rewatching The Vampire Diaries. So yeah, I feel like this will be really fun to read. And it'll be fast because it's a short YA book. So it'll kind of break up my tough like fantasy novels. And then I have another YA contemporary book on my TBR, again to break up some of the other fantasy novels. And that is Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. This follows 2 college students, or college-aged students, who both suffer from like anxiety and depression, and they use each other as like support, and they have a lot of conversations over text message. And I'm just really interested into this because right now with COVID and everything, we are establishing a lot of relationships through texting, FaceTiming, Zoom. Like we're only like maintaining our relationships through technology, and I feel like it'd be really interesting to read a book where this relationship does blossom through text messages, and I just feel like it's very pertinent to right now. So that is why I want to read this one. So also, the cover is gorgeous. Like, what's not to love about it? Pink is my favorite color, so love that. And then I have one historical fiction novel on my TBR. This is a short one. It was one of my book of the months, and that is The Paris Hours by Alex George. This takes place in Paris in the 1920s, and it follows a group of artists and what it was like creating art in Paris. I just feel like this is going to be a very immersive book. I want to feel like I'm transported back into the 1920s. Not that I was ever there, but I would like to have been. So yeah, I think it's all about like muses and art and creation and living in a city that's so inspiring like Paris. And yeah, I think it'd be really cool. The advertisement said like you'll literally be able to smell the croissants off this page, so I'm excited to read this one. And lastly, the book that I have on my TBR that was also on my TBR in April, The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I swear that if I don't read this book in the month of May, I'm just gonna have to get rid of it because it has been taunting me on my bookshelf. Like, I just really want to read it because it's just been there and it's huge, and I need to read it. Again, this follows 4 queendoms, and this is a fantasy novel. It has to do with dragons. I think it's a medieval fantasy if I'm not mistaken. Also, there's LGBTQ representation in this, and I've heard good things about it. It's just, I've heard that it's hard to get into because it is so lengthy, but I've heard the world building is really cool, and I'm interested to see what I think about it, but like, yeah, this is a big one. This is like bigger than any Bible I've ever owned, so I'm nervous about it, but I promise I'm gonna read this like after I finish Woven in Moonlight. Like, this is my #1 priority this month. Like, I have to make this a thing. So yeah, those are all the books on my May TBR. I might change some out. I'm very much a mood reader, so we'll see what I get through in the month of May. But thank you for sticking with me in this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more from me, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye!